Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We are watching Monday Night Raw. Honestly, I thought it was a really good edition. Today is 10/27. We're late into October. We're counting down until Saturday. Saturday night's main event. It's going to be on Peacock. Of course, you got to, you pay for the Peacock subscription. Hopefully, as a WWE fan, you kept your subscription after the jump of the PLEs to ESPN. There's going to be one this month. There's going to be one next month. Then they will go to quarterly, where you can basically use like Saturday night's main events as like pay-per-views and just subscribe to Peacock for the month that there's actually going to be a Saturday night's main event. But we'll get more into that as basically as times come. I thought this was a really good edition of Monday Night Raw. We got over the fact that we have a big show coming up on Saturday. They didn't really hype up that you had to have a Peacock subscription. I think at this point in the game, I think if they say it's on Peacock, you got to pay to play. And that's just the way that it's going to have to be. I thought that they were really going to be banging us over the head, but then again, they didn't really do it with the ESPN switch. I think that it's not 2013 anymore. We're not, launching the WWE network where we have to tell people to make sure your Roku is plugged into the wall and has power in order for you to turn it on. But I think wall to wall. Honestly, really good wrestling on tonight's Raw. Really good storylines. Some stuff was foreseeable. You could see the storyline that was coming. I don't think we're setting up really big matches as of right now. I think that we're just going to get through Saturday night's main event. And then after that, once we get to Monday Night Raw, that's where we're going to start building together what is going on with War Games. Is it going to be a team of the Vision? Is it going to be a team of elite WWE All-Stars who can't get along? Is that the storyline that we're going with? But at the same time, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they just turned on their leader, Seth Rollins. So who is going to trust them to be able to join into a group? So we're just going to buckle it down now. We're just going to run through Monday Night Raw. And probably tomorrow when I get home from work, we'll actually run down what is everything on the Saturday night's main event show. We normally go live roughly 3:30 to 4 o'clock Pacific time. So be on the lookout for that. Come on in, hang out. We'll talk some wrestling and we'll have a good time. But we started out Monday Night Raw with Jey Uso. Jey Uso came right down to the ring, all business. Basically, we've been seeing a little bit of a darker side of Jey Uso, but by the time he left the ring, I was, bam, heel Jey Uso. It hasn't happened yet, but something is happening on Saturday for him to be World Heavyweight Champion yet once again, but we aren't going to have the yeeting. We're not going to have the colors. It is going to be a darker, deeper side of Jey Uso. He might as well be called Roman Reigns from now on in my book. But he came down to the ring and he tried to get out of there as fast as he could. He basically said it was all business. And, he was going to get in there. He was going to win that match, be a two-time champion. He doesn't need anybody. He doesn't need anybody's help. He doesn't need anybody to watch his back. He's going to go in there and he's going to do it on his own. CM Punk made his way down to the ring before Uso was able to leave for them to have a little bit of a face-to-face. Nothing big came of this, besides for the fact that CM Punk would keep on asking Jey Uso if he has what it takes and if he's willing to do, what it takes in order to be World Heavyweight Champion. And at that point, Jey Uso took it as CM Punk was talking down to him and basically said, "Screw you, Punk. Let's go right now." I'm not sure, but we are going to have a big moment on the end of Saturday night's main events where Jey Uso does something that is not a question. It is just straight, Jey Uso is not a good guy anymore. That's just the way that it's going to be. We see him throughout the back. He has 2 different interactions with Jimmy Uso, where basically lets Jimmy explode on him and then comes back and apologizes, works his magic. For as mad as Jimmy is that he got eliminated by his brother in the Battle Royal, basically Jimmy came back and apologized to him, saying that they were brothers. And it was just like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Jey Uso's only the one pulling the strings, working the magic as of right now. So we're going to see something. Basically, no fighting, no table spots. I honestly was thinking when there was no actual table in there for this like face-to-face moment where we weren't going to get the 1,000th contract signing that ended with somebody going through a table. I thought that somebody would interfere like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, and I thought we were going to be forced to see CM Punk and Jey Uso work together before they went there. That's old school WWE, old school WWF to me, but that's just not what they did. They let these guys walk away, and that's basically where it was left. We had an Intercontinental Champion, #1 contenders match after that with Penta and Rusev coming down. Good match. Lots of action. Biggest spot of the night was when Penta went up the top rope. He came off. Rusev caught him with a Machka kick and kind of was celebrating a little bit too early. Didn't double hook the leg or anything like that. And Penta was able to kick out. And at that point, El Grande Americano, he hit the ring. He had his 2 buddies, Rayo and Bravo Americano, which I guess are Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, from WWE NXT UK or WWE as a tag team. I can't remember what they called themselves. They seemed like they were a big deal, and then all of a sudden one time they just disappeared, and then the tag team division just went to kaputs, and we're stuck with this. I don't know. I like El Grande Americano. I think him having 2 guys would work, but it doesn't have to be Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. It could just be like local extras that are there with him. They're wearing a mask. It is what it is. The storyline could basically be that these guys never got, unmasked. If we ever get an unmasking of the Americanos and we find out that it's Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, I don't really understand what the deal is. But they come in, they break up this match, and there's no winner. But we can tell, honestly, that Rusev and Penta are now mad at the Americanos more than they ever wanted to have the Intercontinental title. We're going to fast forward a little bit to them in the back when Adam Pearce finally caught up with Dom, and he saw through this whole big plan where Dom basically had the Americanos go in there and break up the match. There would be no #1 contender, and Rusev and Penta would now be wanting to fight the Americanos instead of wanting to fight Dom. And he was like, no, that's not what's happening, because at Saturday night's main event, you're going to be defending your Intercontinental Championship against Rusev and against Penta in a 3-way. Boom. A little bit, you can see it coming. But in the end, I honestly think that it worked out really, really good. We had a video package on Asuka. It honestly makes me think that she's about to take off on a big singles run. This was about her 10 years in WWE, showing all of her highlights of basically her undefeated streak in NXT, her Royal Rumble win, her Money in the Bank win, her winning an Elimination Chamber, kind of saying that like she's done it all. And it looked like she was going to be going. I think, honestly, they're just setting up the fact that she is going to be the Shawn Michaels of the Kabuki Warriors. Yes, Kairi Sane is going to be out there, but Asuka is the main deal in these matches. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I thought. We had JD McDonough and Finn Balor go to Adam Pearce. They asked for a WWE Tag Team title shot, and instead, we rewind to last week in the Battle Royal when Finn Balor and JD McDonough jumped back in and eliminated Sheamus after they had already been eliminated, which opened the door for Dom to get eliminated and for Dom to sneak back in and be part of the Rumble until being eliminated last by Jey Uso. So Adam Pearce basically said Sheamus wants to have a match, doesn't care who it's going to be, but JD McDonough immediately stands up to the challenge, saying that he'll fight Sheamus. In Finn Balor's face, I first looked at it as like, oh, that's good. It's not having to be me. I'm not going to get my butt kicked by Sheamus for the 1,000th time. But then by the end of this, I really think Finn Balor was looking at JD McDonough like he was proud of him, that he was standing up to this challenge. Not that he was taking a bullet for him, but like, oh, like you're not the rookie that I thought you were. Like, we're actually going to see what's going on. Really good match between Nikki Bella and Roxanne Perez. We had Nikki Bella get pinned pretty clean by Roxanne Perez. Then once this was done, we basically had Raquel Rodriguez get into the ring, bump down Nikki Bella. At that time, we had Stephanie Vakir come running down, and then Nikki Bella just popped up, and it was like a 2-on-1 face-off. And Raquel Rodriguez was forced to like step back and be like, okay, you guys got the numbers. It's not going to be tonight. Nikki Bella was wearing, she looked good. Don't get me wrong. Nikki Bella looked good. She had a blue attire on. It reminded me a lot of the girl in NXT, Lola Vice, who wears the same color. I don't really know what was going on there. Nikki Bella always, to me, has always been in the red as far as I can really remember. I don't know. Maybe the seamstress in the back got mixed up. I'm not really sure what they were going for there. From there, we went to Braun Breaker beating LA Knight in one hell of a match. This one could have been the main event of the night. This was a really, really big night. And I thought Braun Breaker was honestly just going to clean house with LA Knight. But at one point, LA Knight actually fought back. And at one point, I thought LA Knight actually had Braun Breaker beat. But we had Braun hitting LA Knight with one hell of a spear. Not much on the outside from Bronson Reed or Paul Heyman. But you can really tell that LA Knight knew the numbers were stacked against him. He didn't have anybody out there in his corner. And Braun Breaker got the win here. Not really much from the Vision guys. Not really them being mad at Adam Pearce, trying to find out when they get in line for their championship shot. They talked about the match before it happened, when they were making their way down to the ring. And they said this isn't a number one contenders match, but the winner of this match should be in line to fight the WWE champion after Saturday night's main event. The loser of this match will more than likely go to the back of the line and have not anywhere to go from here. JD McDonough did beat Sheamus in a really, really, really good match. I really like JD McDonough. I go on eBay. I try to buy an autographed card from him almost each and every week. I'm just trying to complete every card that he's signed. I don't need all the variants. I just want to have one from every set pretty much. But it was a trip when I found out that when JD McDonough was in WWE NXT, he wrestled under his real name before taking on the McDonough character, Jordan Devlin. That's what it was. And I was like, oh, shoot. Now I've got more cards to go get. So for the people out there that watch WWE NXT, I didn't see any of it. But I hope that Devlin was a star there, because this guy is killing it on Raw. Each and every time I get to see him, especially him winning singles matches against Sheamus, I will take this almost each and every day. Eventually, we will be getting Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know if this is being hinted for a Monday Night Raw, if this is being hinted for War Games, but Pearce did everything but make the match official, but just said the match was coming eventually down the line. We had a WWE Tag Team Championship match. Lyra Valkyrie against Bayley. Lyra Valkyrie and Bayley going up against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Lyra Valkyria wasn't there. But this match had me thinking that it was like 2017 WWE all over again. Charlotte and Alexa Bayley in the P's of this match. Very weird spot. I'm not really 100% sure what happened. If you remember Lyra Valkyrie in the Royal Rumble the year before last, she had the slip up where her top, the like buttons or buckles, however you think about it, behind her neck came undone, and she had to like kind of like stop the match for the referee to put it back in place so she keep fighting because her top was coming off. I think her hair got stuck in Alexa Bliss's outfit. It was a really, really weird spot where it just looked like she was stuck to her. I was expecting like the referee to have to get scissors and like cut them apart for them to be able to go out and do this match. It took a good 30 seconds. They figured it out. They were able to get the match going. But in the end, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss were too much. They overcame Lyra and Bayley with the in-sync, where they basically just took them down with both times coming off the ropes, little monkey flip action into the head, and 1, 2, 3, got the pin. And I immediately went into, oh, this is where Bayley beats up Lyra, and we get to build to the next Lyra versus Bayley match. That's the whole reason of this match. That's the whole reason that the storyline is going on. But instead, the Kabuki Warriors ran down. It looks like they're trying to cut in line to go after the World Tag Team Championship. I remembered last week in the back, they were asking for a tag team title shot. This is their way of getting there. They beat up Charlotte. They beat up Alexa. They beat up Lyra. When Bayley came up and came to, they kind of backed off. I always think of NWO Sting and WCW 1996 stuff when two heels are beating everybody up in the ring and a babyface gets into the ring. I'm immediately thinking, I think they're together. I know in the past we had Bayley's group with Carrie Sane. No, was it Carrie Sane? I think it was Becky. I think it was Bayley, Carrie Sane, and Dakota Kai. Was that Damage Control? I'm not 100% sure. I think that's 2021 SummerSlam when they make their debut / return, because we hadn't seen a lot of them in a long time, and it was kind of like Bayley was bringing them back. And I know over time they, Asuka joined the group and some other girls, and then it was almost like Bayley got kicked out of the own group that she started. I don't know if we're seeing a reuniting of that, but something is going on. We haven't really seen Bayley doing the snapping, where basically like she's having her alter ego that lives inside of her come out because she's upset that she's not in the title hunt, in the title picture. Her career's kind of coming to an end. That's kind of the way that I've taken this storyline. But it's been a while since we've seen those breaks. And when the time came for Bayley to beat down Lyra, upset that they lost this tag team title main event of Monday Night Raw, it didn't come. So I'm really wondering, is Bayley, Asuka, and Kairi Sane, are they a thing now? I think they are.